Amnesty International has pretty much been kicked out of India, right? That's how you put it. So they've frozen their bank accounts, right? Do you want to give us a little summary about this story and your take?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, to be honest, I didn't deep dive as deeply into that as other issues because of time. But yeah, Amnesty International is, yeah, I messaged you it, they're kicking out Amnesty, but the reality is Amnesty is leaving India because all its bank accounts have been frozen. And yeah, we had the recent ruling that in the courts that exonerated, basically acquitted, I don't know, the leaders of the Mondi's political party, BGDP, I forget the acronym, because when he was a governor of a state in India, there was an attack on a Babur era mosque, led to deaths, I believe, of more than 100 people, if not 1,000. And that was a major case within India, and the court just ruled that the leaders are not guilty. You had Amnesty International and other groups increasingly coming under pressure because of the Kashmir, because during the last couple of years India has basically annexed Kashmir to its mainland. And Amnesty International, a lot of people are extremely worried about the situation there. Political parties from that region are being suppressed, and even for a very long time, internet connection was like it was a complete blackout in that region. And since then, Indian government has basically been cracking down on international organizations that it sees as problematic. And then you had the court ruling. Then you had also something which really shocked me. You had another disgusting case of rape, which sadly is too too common for just even one is too many. But it's just the level in India is somewhat shocking. I hope they get it somewhat under control. But yeah, and you had another case in which the victim, she was cremated against the wishes of her family, which is by the government, which all of these signal an increasingly nationalistic, increasingly, you know, a statist approach from the Indian government. And I don't know if it's all of this is necessary. It seems, yeah, they are really pushing forward with. I mean, the thing is, India's strong point was that it's freedoms because it's not like an economic, you know, it is an economic powerhouse now. But compared to what it could be, compared to what China is, it's been a failure. It's been a failure through and through. And I don't mean that I'm not exaggerating. It's been a failure. A nation with the level of education, with the level of talent, with the level of resources that they have, the government of India has continuously failed the Indian people. But the one good thing it had was that it allowed relative social freedoms, allowed relative political freedom, and it seems that's going away too. I hope at least that I hope this is if this is going to happen, at least maybe some economic growth, or I don't mean economic growth in a traditional sense. I mean a more balanced, you know, there are still 1 in 4 Indian people cannot read and write. 1 in 4. This is this is embarrassment for a nation of that power, of that talent, of that resources. So it is sad to see that India's focus seems to be more on these type of issues.
Yeah. And I think Amnesty
Yeah.
gets a lot of these kind of slack because Amnesty, unlike, it's not a humanitarian organization, it's like a human rights organization. So anything that it does and says, it usually gets, direct black backlash from the government. So yeah, the government's official excuse is that, so apparently Amnesty gets a lot of funding externally, and apparently there's a law that prohibits NGOs in India from using funding that was raised externally. So apparently that is the government's official line of justification. And I think they had done something similar in 2016 and frozen their bank accounts.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, but I mean
Interesting. I had no
that's
idea
the
about the Twitter.
justification that's given. That's kind of the official justification. But it'll be interesting to see if they reopen their offices there. I think they also closed down their offices in Russia last year after not being able to work there anymore. And in Turkey, I think they were involved in long court battles even from. But I think they're still operational there and they're still working.
To be honest, I somewhat regret setting up this story with the amnesty as the because I kind of wanted to talk about the broader, update on India. And to be honest, I myself am generally highly suspicious of, uh, not highly suspicious. I'm pretty much anti-charity in many ways. I don't believe in charitable organizations. I largely think they're mostly a propaganda thing. So, but I don't think in this case, I think in this very case, the situation in Kashmir and all that. So, yeah, I kind of regret maybe the way I framed this topic in terms of like presenting my own. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that I do generally view these type of organizations, like when you said they got kicked out of Russia, in my heart, I kind of was saying, yeah, good. So.